A big active stretch of weather is coming, as a lot of storm systems will move into the United States, producing a lot of severe weather. And the tropics are starting to wake up. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down what you need to know about the severe weather threat over the next few days. So let's get right into the forecast. If we go ahead and switch over to our SPC outlook for today, you can see that we do have a slight risk out here in southern Maine, northern New Hampshire, and northern Vermont. We're expected to see a trough that's going to move into this region, and this is going to bring clusters of storms that are going to push through, mainly producing a chance for some damaging winds. And we could also see a few isolated severe storms out here in the mid-Atlantic today, where we got a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk out here. Looking at chance for some damaging winds, the hail risk out here will be very low. So if you're out there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, over there towards Philadelphia, and Baltimore, Maryland, you guys want to watch out for some severe weather today, with the main concern being the damaging winds. And then down here in parts of western Texas out here, the places west of Austin and San Antonio, Texas, we could see a few storms today that will try to spin up and potentially produce a tornado out here. So you guys want to be watching this closely. Yeah, definitely be prepared for potentially a tornado out here if you're west of San Antonio, Texas. As there's going to be enough spin out there to potentially create a potential for a tornado. We're also going to have some storms out here in western Montana, northern Idaho, and parts of eastern Oregon and eastern Washington. We're going to have quite a few storms push through these areas. These will not be too concerning. This will mainly be a hail threat. As you can see here, our main concern will be out here in Helena, Montana, where we do have a 15% hail risk out here. You can see here, if we go ahead and switch over to our future radar, storms out here in the northeast will begin pretty early, and then they'll push through these areas out here from the afternoon into the evening throughout parts of the northern New England, producing mainly a damaging wind threat out here. So you guys want to be making sure to strap down unsecured objects if you're in the path of these storms. Then they should start dying down as we get farther into the evening as they enter the Atlantic Ocean. So you guys all want to watch this very closely out here. Boston, it looks like the main storms will kind of miss you guys. So I wouldn't worry about anything too crazy if you're out there in Boston today. We do have some storms that are expected to develop out here in the mid-Atlantic today, where we have a marginal risk. See that we could see a few storms develop out here, though it is not looking like it's going to be that big of a concern. The storms don't seem to like they're going to last too long. Like we saw yesterday, storms didn't last too long, but you guys want to be watching these storms closely here, as they are expected to develop around 5 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a lot of scattered storms out here in the Ohio Valley, going all the way up into the Midwest. Those aren't expected to be anything too crazy. Some gusty winds will be a possibility, though, with those. And then out here in western Texas, we're going to have a few storms push through this region. These could produce maybe an isolated brief spin-up tornado out here, mainly towards the west of San Antonio, Texas. So you guys want to watch that closely. San Antonio, Texas looks like they'll be remaining a little bit farther west of you. You saw a few tornado warnings the other days, but looks like the main stuff today will stay west of you, thankfully. So you guys want to be prepared for a potential for a few tornadoes west of San Antonio, Texas. We are also expected to get a few isolated storms develop out here in parts of the northern Rockies today. Now the winds from the Rocky Mountains is going to add to the other ingredients that we're going to have out here, like some of our storm fuel, some of our wind shear. But the Rocky Mountains, the wind coming off of the Rocky Mountains, that will add to the severe weather threat up here. So if you're out in Helena, Montana, I'd definitely watch that area the closest for the main damaging wind threat and the main hail threat, as it is looking like we could be seeing some mainly a hail threat out there. So even towards Billings, Miles City, and Missoula, Montana, you guys want to watch this as well, as there's going to be a potential for severe weather. And then we also are expected to get a few storms to develop later today out here in near Grand Forks, North Dakota, northern Minnesota, parts of northeastern North Dakota today. These storms are expected to develop a little bit later today into parts of the overnight hours, mainly around 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. We're expected to get a few storms to develop out in these regions, and then they'll produce mainly a threat for damaging winds and hail. The tornado threat today will be very low in all these areas, but you guys want to watch these storms very closely too. And I want to actually roll out an upgrade to a slight risk out here, as we could see quite a few scattered severe storms placed over these regions. We also have a lot of rain out here in western Texas that we're going to be seeing here. A lot of rain is going to be training over the same areas. We got a lot of flash flood emergencies currently placed over in these areas right now, this is only expected to continue as we get farther into today, as the Weather Prediction Center has actually issued a high risk for excessive rainfall. This is going to be for the Kerrville and Del Rio, Texas region in Uvalde. There's a high risk for excessive rainfall out here, where we could be seeing widespread excessive rainfall amounts. This could get up to potentially around just 5 inches, around 5 inches today. I think that we could be seeing rain, and then just potentially up to getting around a foot of rain total by the end of this week. So a lot of rain is going to be falling out here, and this is also expected to continue as we get into tomorrow in these areas. It's going to shift a little bit farther west, and it's going to be a little bit lower threat, so all the way from parts of western Texas into southwestern Utah, when you guys want to be prepared for excessive rainfall tomorrow. So make sure to turn around and don't drown, and make sure you have your flood action plan ready and have a way to get to higher ground if needed today. As we head into tomorrow on Friday, the severe weather threat is expected to start going down a little bit. A few isolated severe storms are going to be a potential in western Montana and parts of northeastern Idaho. Could also see a few isolated severe storms tomorrow out here in the Great Lakes, but these are not expected to be anything too crazy. But we could see an isolated tornado near Duluth, Minnesota tomorrow out here. So you guys want to keep an eye on this. It's going to be very low threat. It's only a 2% tornado risk. So most of the tornadoes we'll probably see like 1 or 2. They'll probably be mainly below EF1 strength. But yeah, we'll watch this closely in around Duluth, Minnesota. You guys want to watch that threat. We're also going to have a threat for some damaging winds in these regions here. As you can see right here, we got some 5% wind risks. It isn't expected to be too crazy. We can also see some hail with these systems as well. Taking a look at what radar could look like tomorrow out here in these regions, you can see a few isolated storms are going to move through the regions, mainly producing a damaging wind threat. But we could maybe see an isolated tornado threat develop around Duluth, Minnesota tomorrow. I do not think it will be anything too crazy. I do think they could get rid of that 2% total risk tomorrow out here, as I'm not expecting it to be anything too crazy. But we're going to have some storms push through tomorrow out here. You can see the main storms will develop later tomorrow, raining around 8 p.m. Eastern out here. So you guys want to watch this very closely if you're out in these regions. And then we could also see a few storms out here in western Montana and parts of northeastern Idaho tomorrow. The storms are definitely expected to develop probably from the afternoon into the evening. Helena, Missoula, in western Montana, you guys are at the threat again tomorrow for some severe weather. So you guys want to watch this very closely here. I wouldn't rule out maybe an upgrade to a slight risk out here, mainly for that damaging wind threat around Missoula or Helena, Montana. So you guys want to be prepared for that. As we head into Saturday, we are actually going to be having another severe weather threat. This is going to be a very large area to be watching on Saturday for severe weather. This is a very massive slight risk going from western New York into parts of northeastern North Carolina. So if you're in this slight risk on Saturday, you want to be prepared for severe weather. We also got a marginal risk surrounding that, where we could be seeing some isolated severe weather. So you guys want to be prepared if you're out in these regions, as we're going to have a pretty big storm system push through, producing a lot of storms in these regions. It will be very scattered. The main areas I'm watching is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Cleveland, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, Indianapolis, Indiana, Washington, DC, and then over there towards Philadelphia. So you guys want to be prepared for this, as there is going to be a potential for severe weather. Now let's go ahead and talk about the timing of this. You can see that this model does go a little bit crazy with some of the storms out here, but you can kind of see how much storms we're going to have over these regions push through. This is what it could look like at 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a lot of scattered storms out there in parts of Pennsylvania, and then we're going to expect those storms are expected to continue moving south. We could see more clusters of storms developing and moving south. This is what it could look like at 11 p.m. Eastern. We could also see a few isolated storms pop up in front of this line down here in parts of Kentucky that could also produce some damaging winds. And then as we get into the nighttime hours, the storms will lose daylight heating, and then they should gradually calm down. But we're gonna have to watch these very closely. Columbus, Ohio, Indianapolis, Indiana, even over there towards Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is expected to be a pretty widespread severe weather day. As you can see, we're gonna have a lot of storms out here. So we'll keep you guys updated. We'll get more details as we get more data. We do have enough spin out in these regions on Saturday, which is why I think these areas out here in parts of southeastern Pennsylvania and western New Jersey have more of a tornado potential on Saturday. So you guys want to watch those storms very closely. I think our tornado potential though out here in the Ohio Valley will be pretty low, but we'll have to watch some of those storms out here in Mid-Atlantic, mainly within these areas. There's going to be enough spin to potentially help those tornadoes form and everything like that. Another severe weather threat is likely on Sunday from Columbia, South Carolina, up towards Greensboro, Raleigh, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Another severe weather threat is likely where we could be seeing another chance for damaging winds mainly. As we do have a 15% any severe risk probability outlined by the Storm Prediction Center. So we'll have to watch this very closely as it's going to be a pretty powerful storm system that is expected to bring some storms out here. We'll keep you guys updated as more data comes in, but we can't get too detailed on this stuff right now. We do have a threat for fire weather today out here for Fresno and Bakersfield, California, over there towards southeastern Oregon, northwestern Nevada, and northeastern California today. For in these regions, we have hot, dry air moving through, and this is going to lead to some gusty winds out here. This is going to lead to a potential for some fire weather. Fires are going to easily spark out here, so if you're out in these regions, you want to be prepared for potential wildfires, or don't throw your cigarette out the window, as we could be seeing some easily sparked fires out here today. And this is expected to continue tomorrow in northeastern California, northwestern Nevada, and southeastern Oregon. Now let's give another update on the potential tropical development that we could be seeing out here off the Gulf Coast out here in the southeast. We're expected to see a stalling cold front that's going to move out here, and a low pressure system is expected to develop. There's a low chance of development, but there's a likely chance of a system developing. But the chances of a tropical storm or depression developing is low right now, but I do think it's a possibility. And no matter what happens, even if we don't see development out here, parts of northern Florida is still going to be seeing a lot of rainfall out of this, which could lead to some dangerous, life-threatening flooding. So we'll have to watch that closely. But there is going to be a threat for development. Right now, the National Hurricane Center is saying around a 20% chance of development from this tropical system. So if you're out here in Tampa or Jacksonville or Orlando, Florida, you'll want to watch this closely. And I'll keep you guys updated as there is going to be a potential for development out of this tropical system. This is expected to happen potentially on Saturday. Low pressure system that we're going to get developing out here, producing some rain showers out here, and this could lead to some development with this system. And then that's expected to move very slowly into Florida as we get into Sunday, into Monday. And then that system right here is going to cross Florida, and then it's going to go right up here off the Gulf Coast and maybe try to spin up some more development out here if it doesn't develop just off the coast of Florida. So we'll watch that closely here. And then that system could actually move up over here towards South Carolina and North Carolina eventually, potentially developing and causing a lot of excessive rainfall. So we'll have to watch that closely. We also have a tropical wave coming off of Africa, which could cause some development here, but is very unlikely. This is going to be near Praia out here off the coast of Africa. We're going to have a tropical wave. And I'm not concerned about this. If it does develop, it'd likely be a very weak tropical depression, very unlikely to become anything major. I'm not too concerned about this, but if you're out there in Praia, I just wanted to let you guys know that there is going to be a potential for some heavy rainfall, some gusty winds, and maybe a tropical system to develop. If we go ahead and take a look at what's driving these severe weather systems, you can see that we do have a upper level trough coming down from Canada into the United States out here. That's going to be leading to that severe weather chance in parts of the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic over the next few days, and out there in the Northeast. We also got this storm system out here in the Pacific Northwest, which is going to lead to that severe weather chance out here. Then we're expected to see another potential trough to come through around July 22nd and July 21st. This could lead to another severe weather chance out there in the Mid-Atlantic into the Northeast. So we'll have to watch that very closely here, as it does seem like severe weather is still going to remain pretty active as we get into late July. And that is pretty much all I got for you in today's video. Make sure to slap a like on this video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.